Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is the third part in which we will be talking about some of the colors and contrast to be edited in an image. So first of all, we will be starting with some other tools before the color tools. First tool is the slice tool. Slice tool has another subcategories like crop tool, perspective crop tool, and slice select tool. These tools have a majority common in them. That is, they just resize or crop our image. For example, crop tool just usually crops just like an normal other image or another way. Another type is perspective crop tool. It basically crops the image in, we can say, a 3D way. Like we can see when I'm moving the corner, it is making a 3D graph of that image. And just a second. Yeah, like this. For example, we can take this. Um, I have to just right click on any of the side of that image which I want to crop, and then I will make a polygon. Yeah, like this. For example, I have made a quadrilateral, and if I have to shift the corners, I can do and just enter, and it will shift my image to that perspective of 3D. Another tool here is slice tool and slice select tool. This basically can help me in measuring and making another clip, we can say, or just like in jigsaw puzzle, we do different parts of an image. It also do like same. It makes different parts and subcategories of image. It distributed it into different ratio of the image into different pieces. Another tool is, yeah, another tool here is ruler tool. Ruler tool have different type of tools. First of all, we can see the ruler tool. Basically, if you can see in the top bar, it is telling me the coordinates and the altitude, height, wherever I am dragging my cursor. For example, if I want to measure the left ear to the right ear distance, so I will just right click, sorry, I will just left click there and keep on clicking and dragging towards the right ear, and it will make a imaginary line in which I can see the different coordinates and the width, height, and altitude on the top layer. I can even use the measurement scale. It will provide me with different decimals or maybe other tools in it. Other tool here is note tool. For example, I want to just compose a different note in this, so I can do like that. If I want, for example, I am the owner of this image and I have taken an editor and I want to tell him that these are the changes in this image, so I can use the note tool. Another tool in this category is the eyedropper tool. For example, if I want to take any color, basically, for example, we have a brush tool and I want to color in it with with a defined color which I don't have. I have to just select from the image itself. So I can just take the color to eyedropper. Even in eyedropper, you can see that it is magnifying and it can help me very much in defining any other type of color from the particular image. Other tool here is 3D material eyedropper tools. These are much more similar to the tool we have used earlier, the eyedropper. Another tool we have is the count tool. Basically, it is very easy. It's much more in the detailed. For example, if I want to count and it's not very useful, to be honest. It just depends what type of task you are doing or what type of we can say a defined work you are doing in the Photoshop. Other tool we have is this patch tool, spot healing brush tool, content aware move tool, and red eye tool. Basically, first we can do with the patch tool. For example, if I want to take this area, or we can say this patch, yeah, and I want to use this image in this, so you can see how it works. Another way to do is, for example, you can see there is a window here. So I will just drag my cursor towards it. It is not very refined right now. And I would wait. Yeah. For example, I will just take my cursor on this window. I will left click and drag my cursor on the particular area and I will leave now. So it provides me with an area, and now I will click on this area and keep on clicking with the left mouse, and I can just take it, for example, on the this patch or maybe this patch and wheresoever which I want to make. For example, if I want to cover this window, so it does like that. Or if I want to undo, then I will just easily Control plus V. Another tool in the here is spot healing brush tool. For example, I will just make this area, and you can see it just moistens, or we can say it mixes the particular area. Um, we can even change the size of brush. For example, from the um, upper bar, you can see there is a drop down from where I can just change the size of the brush or maybe the hardness, that how softly I want to rub it or how hard it should be. For example, you can see the more softer it is. Uh, yeah, for example, let's take it to the extreme hardness. So it will make a very hard, or we can say very subtle difference. Where so if I do it on a very soft, so you can see I have to rub again and again if I want to hard, and you can see it does very softly. Other other things to do here is the angle or maybe roundness or maybe the spacing. It just depends on what type of task you are trying to do. Spacing it just make a dotted area kind of, or it is not, I think, very useful. Instead, we should keep the spacing to zero itself. Yeah, like this. It is like magic erase. It erases or blends with the image. The content aware move tool and red eye tool we will be not using it. It goes in a very advanced and specified areas only. Other tool we are using is mixer brush tool. It's just simple as the brush tool. Just the difference in this is that it blends it. For example, we can see in this image we have this eye and I have to blend it with this image. So using the brush I can just blend it easily. It is like a palette in which we do in real life. Same, we have like the size, the hardness, and in this we have a variable that we have different type of brushes, and we have some folder in which we can see the different texture we can say of the brush we want. For example, we can see as soft ground pressure opacity. It just depends on what type of thing you are trying to do. For example, you can see now it is not blending a lot. It is blending at a very low level. That's how it works. Um, yeah, that's how it works. Other tool here we have, instead of brush tool, we may be using a simple brush itself also instead of the mixer brush tool. Brush tool will work simply in the left area. We have different colors, different palette. Maybe just simple. Wait a second. Yeah, maybe switches like we have a palette, or we want if we want to take simple primary colors, or maybe the grayscale, or maybe the gradient itself. Uh, yeah. For example, if I want to color it to the same color which this can have, and I don't know which color, so I can just easily use the eyedropper itself, which I had earlier. Um, yeah, the eyedropper. I will select the color, and then I will go to the brush tool, and I can use it. So it can easily just blend. Other tool we have is the pencil tool. We know very similarly, just like we do in the text painter, which is on default in Windows, or the color replacement tool. Basically, it makes color completely opposite. You can, for example, we cannot say a opposite color, but a watermark kind of thing. For example, if I had taken blue color from the palette and I want to change the image into a blue watermarked image, so you can see it automatically changes the color image into a bluish filter. Other tool we have is mixer brush tool, which we have already discussed. Now another tool we have is clone stamp tool and pattern stamp tool. From the name itself, we can say it just clones, and it makes stamps. Yeah, yeah, I got it. For example, I have just selected this tool, and by clicking Alt, I can define that what type of area I want to clone. For example, the hat, and now I can just easily do that. I can just clone it here, and you can see it makes another hat here and another image, the same as earlier, and it clones it. The same will be done with the pattern tool with some difference, like it can create the pattern of that. Another tool we have is history brush tool and art history brush tool. History brush tool is just like an magic erase tool, which will just easily erase the image. Yeah, maybe it's not working right now due to some technical error. But yeah, the art history brush tool is working. It is, we can say, making a moist out of it. You can see it is mixing it like For example, if I have a palette and in it I have to just add a lot of water in the image, or so it is just mixing it like that. And I don't know why the history brush tool isn't working. Maybe because of some, yeah, now it is working. You can see it is just converting my image to the previous one. Not erasing, we can say, but it has changed back to the earlier image. For example, I have did a changes here, and I don't want that change, so it will just erase it, or we can say it will go to the past of that image. Yeah, and you can see it is again converting it back to the earlier state of this image. Another tool we have is Magic Eraser. As talked earlier, it will erase the area. If we don't want to erase a complete area, so we can use eraser tool. So it will erase a particular area of that image. We can see a dotted texture because we don't have any other layer beneath this image. The same goes with the background eraser. Now we have gradient tool, paint bucket tool, and 3D material drop tool. You can easily see how it works. For example, if I had any other palette instead of this image, a blank palette, and I want to add any gradient, so I'm just moving this cursor like this, and it is making a linear gradient of blue and white. I can change it. I have two palettes here on the right side in which I can select two different colors. For example, I have chosen dark blue, and instead of white I am choosing a dark red. And now if I make it like this, I don't know why it is not working. Okay, my bad. Yeah, we can see from I've just clicked on the top bar and I have just opened the palette. Now a dialog box will open. From here I can take different textures which are on by default. We have we can either select from here, like we have blue, purple, pinks, and other folders itself. We might even import, or also we can just easily choose, or we can add. For example, we can see I can make a custom also from here. I will just click on new and it will get into the palette. If I want to add different colors, for example, if I don't want to add this color, so I can change the color from here, and then I can add one more box and like vice versa it will work, and then I will select OK, and it will get me a new palette of gradient. And now I will move my cursor and it can make a linear gradient. We can change it into another type of gradients also if I don't want any linear gradient. So I can select from here, like we have a circular gradient now, or maybe a starred one. Yeah, you can see now. Another tool we have is the smudge tool. First, we will undo the work we have done right now, and we will go back to the image we had earlier, and then I will tell you what is smudge tool. Yeah, basically, smudge tool also works like we can say a blur. For example, you can see the hand of this person, and I am dragging my cursor and it is merging it, or we can say it is mixing it. That's how smudge tool works. Another tool we have here is sharpen tool. It will just sharpen the areas. We won't be able to see right now a lot difference, maybe. But yeah, you can see there is a minor difference here. We can even change from here, like the earlier one, the size and other things. Another tool we have here is the blur tool. It will work same like the smudge tool, just the difference. Smudge just we can say merges or uh, changes its state of the image, or we can say mix it. But the blur tool will just easily blur as we can do in other tasks. Like we can see here, it is blurring the image a very slow pace because we haven't did any hardness to very soft. Another tool we have here is the dodge tool, burn tool, and sponge tool. It works just like their name suggests. Sponge tool will make a spongy effect on the image. Like we can see on the trees and the ear of the person, it is making a spongy effect. Or maybe the dodge tool, you can see. Another here is the text tool. The text tool have different various options too, like the horizontal type tool, vertical type mask tool, and horizontal type mask tool. They all are just similar, like we can type any kind of text if we want on this image, for example, and it will make a different layer. We will be talking about layer on the next episode maybe, and that all about in this video. We have discussed about different color tools we had and about type tool, and that all about this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.